Have you ever really thought about the salt on your table? You know, it's one of those things, right? We just sprinkle it on our food and take it completely for granted. But what if I told you that inside some of those tiny little crystals is an incredible story? A story of patience, of huge risk, and of wisdom passed down through generations. Well, today, we're going to uncover that story.
So let me ask you this. Is all salt created equal? The answer, as it turns out, is a big no. We're about to dive into a very special kind of salt from Patani in southern Thailand that completely flips the idea of salt as just a simple commodity on its head. Its story is this beautiful mix of culture, science, and the environment.
I mean, look at this. On one hand, you've got your standard industrial salt. It's processed, it's ground up by machines, and honestly, the taste can be kind of sharp, sometimes even bitter. But then you have Brittani's Guaya Satu. This is pure artisanal craft. It's naturally fine, no grinding involved, and it's famous for this mellow flavor that has this amazing sweet finish. This is way more than just seasoning. It's the final product of a truly remarkable journey. And that journey, well, it doesn't start in some factory. It starts out in the open, under the sun. This is part one, the wisdom of the fields. And this is where that local wisdom, what's known in Thai as Bunpanya, has to tackle a very unique challenge right from the get-go.
So right away, the salt farmers in Patani have a problem. See, their seawater isn't like other places. It mixes with fresh water from a river nearby, which means the salinity is pretty low. You just can't boil it down directly. I mean, you could try, but you'd be burning an insane amount of fuel for barely any salt. So they had to come up with a different way, a method that works with nature instead of fighting it.
And their solution is just brilliant. It relies on these four elements all working together in perfect harmony. You've got the sun, obviously, for heat and evaporation. You've got the earth of the salt pans, which adds its own unique minerals to the mix. You've got the seawater itself. But here's the kicker, the part that's so cool. Without the wind blowing across the water to encourage crystallization, the salt just won't form right. You need all four, no shortcuts.
And the patience this takes, it's just incredible.
We're talking about a 3-month-long process. The seawater gets moved through this series of 4 ponds. It starts in the first pond, the Na Khang, where it just sits for 45 days. Then it moves through the Na Wang and the Na Chua, getting saltier and thicker at every stage. They say, by the end, the brine shimmers like a diamond and is thick like syrup. Only then, after all that waiting, does it finally go to the Na Plong, the last pond, where the crystals finally start to form. But think about this. That entire 3-month process is completely at the mercy of the weather. One of the farmers said something that just hits you right in the gut. When the rain comes, you start over from 1. Can you imagine? Months of patient, careful work, and one bad storm can wash it all away, forcing you to go right back to square one. This isn't just farming. It's an incredible act of resilience.
Okay, so after surviving the sun, the wind, and the rain, the raw salt crystals are finally harvested from the fields. But the journey is not over, not even close. Now comes part 2, the trial by fire. This is a purification process that's going to turn this raw harvest into a true culinary jewel. And this process has a name, Gaya Satu. The term itself literally means to purify something with heat. It's an old traditional technique, a very deliberate craft that takes that coarse, gritty sea salt and transforms it into something exceptionally pure and delicate.
And the process itself is just so meticulous. First, they take the raw crystals and, believe it or not, dissolve them all over again, but this time in fresh water. Then, they filter that salty solution through a cloth. And they're not done. They let it sit overnight, just so any tiny bits of sediment can sink to the bottom. The next day, they carefully collect that clear liquid from the top, and they start to boil it, constantly, painstakingly skimming off any little impurities that float to the surface. It's purification layered on top of purification.
And here is the simple, beautiful science behind why this salt is so fine. That slow 3-month journey under the sun, that creates big, coarse crystals. But when you take the salt solution and boil it really fast, the water evaporates quickly, forcing tiny, delicate, perfect little crystals to form. The result is this incredibly fine texture, and it's achieved with thermodynamics, not a single grinding machine. It's brilliant. Now, the labor involved here is just staggering. As one of the makers said, we boil all day and all night, and it's still not done. Just to produce a few kilograms of gaya satu is this exhausting, around-the-clock job of stirring and boiling and watching. It is pure, unfiltered dedication. So, after all of that, the months under the sun, the hours over a raging fire, what do you actually get? What is the end result that makes the salt so special that chefs and foodies actively hunt it down? Well, to really get how pure this stuff is, just look at the numbers. For every 1 kilogram, that's 1,000 grams, of raw salt that they put in that pot, they only get 800 grams of pure gaya satu out. That means a full 20% of the original weight. All the dirt, the sediment, the junk is patiently skimmed away, all in the name of quality. And that obsession with quality creates incredible value. I mean, raw sea salt might sell for about 2 Thai bahts a kilo, but the finished, purified Guwait Satu salt, it can go for 300 bahts per kilogram. That is a 150 times increase in value, created entirely by traditional knowledge and just plain hard work. But let's be real, the true payoff, the whole point, is the taste. A lot of sea salts can leave this sharp, almost bitter aftertaste in your mouth. Patani salt, though, is known for this incredibly clean, mellow saltiness that ends with what everyone, from locals to top chefs, describes as a sweet finish. That unique flavor is its signature. So, you have to ask, is all that effort worth it? Oh, absolutely. You get this exceptional purity because everything bad is literally skimmed away. You get a naturally fine texture from science, not a machine. You get a superior taste that elevates food instead of just making it salty. And, maybe most importantly, you get a product that is packed with cultural heritage. Every single crystal is a tiny piece of that local wisdom, that fompanya. At the end of the day, Patani salt is not just salt. It's the taste of the sun that baked the water, the wind that helped form the crystals, and the tireless, relentless work of a community that has perfected this art over generations. It's pampanya, it's local wisdom that you can actually hold and taste. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other everyday things that we never give a second thought to are holding these incredible stories of culture, of science, of human passion? What other treasures are hiding out there, right in plain sight?